Hey guys, this is the Rant Kid here, and today I got to stay home, and now here's a new rant for today. So, anyways, this is going to be my rant on Jeff the Killer fangirls and OCs. So, remember, this is a disclaimer. This is directed to the bad ones. I mean, it's in the title, so you shouldn't be upset if you're not one of these fangirls and stuff. Because if you are a fangirl of Jeff the Killer and you don't do this stuff that I'm going to say in this video, this isn't directed towards you, so don't be offended or leave any hate comments because it's not directed to you if you don't do this. So, anyways, let's get started with this rant. So everybody knows about the story Jeff the Killer, and I'm not even going to explain it. And it's one of the it's one of the more well-known creepy pastas besides Slenderman, Ben Drown, Smile Dog, and a whole plethora of pastas and stuff. But Jeff the Killer, this story spawned so many fangirls. And you want to know what fangirls do? What a majority of fangirls do online whenever they're like what? When they get into this, this fandom, you already know they mess it up. They just mess it up in some way. They don't mess it up to a large degree. They mess it up to a somewhat medium degree or something, just in some shape or form or fashion. And they do this by making kawaii pictures of Jeff the Killer with other pasta monsters and stuff. They start shipping them, making stupid fan fiction, making OCs based off of themselves just so they can have this stupid fantasy thing where they're in this relationship with Jeff the Killer. And they start to feel sorry for a fictional killer. Yeah, let that sink in for a bit. And yes, I'm pretty sure that there's even hentai of Jeff the Killer. And I know this is the internet and it's Rule 34 and anything goes. But these fangirls and stuff, these bad apples, they just love this rule because I'm pretty sure that they do make this stuff about Jeff the Killer. It might not be on DeviantArt, but it'll be on other sites that I don't even want to know exist. But my main complaint about them is how they're always like what? Making these these kawaii pictures of Jeff the Killer. That's actually one of my main complaints because it's just dumb. Why are you trying to make something that was once creepy look, try to make it look cute and stuff? And then you also got ones that try to make these sequels to it. The only good one, the only good one that I know that is just awesome was Jeff the Killer versus Jane the Killer. That was the one that I personally liked and I thought it was pretty good. But what did kill it off was somewhere in there he referenced Slender Man and all that stuff. It was just it made it like what 5% bittersweet. But anyways, I just really don't like it when these like what bad types of Jeff the Killer fangirls try to try to make their little stories and stuff, or they'll try to make them fight another creepypasta character like Jeff the Killer versus Slender Man or Ben Drown. Just some stupid stuff like that that wouldn't even make any sense, especially if they're two separate stories. Because on the other hand, Ben Drown was a good one, and on the other hand, Jeff the Killer is just a terrible one, in my opinion, and probably to everybody else. I don't know. Teach his own. But but like, God, there's just so much wrong with these, like what, with these bad fangirls and stuff. There's just so much wrong with them. And once again, I love how they're always defending this fictional character, this fictionalized killer, and try to say that he was bullied when in the story he was mugged, because there's a huge difference between getting mugged and getting bullied. Because when you're getting bullied, that's basically something that can last for a couple of days or just constantly until the person does something about it or until something happens. I mean, yeah, Jeff got bullied in the story, but that doesn't mean he was bullied. Come on, that's just use common sense. And the one thing that I just can't stand about them is their little original characters. And I use the word original sarcastically because there's a large majority of them that are just Mary Sue's, and some of them just it just comes off too terrible, and they always have to have blank the killer by their names and stuff. And one of the well-known bad ones that I've heard about was Nina the Killer. And I should tell you guys this. I don't hate these types of fangirls. I actually dislike them. I dislike them. Because there's a difference between disliking a percentage of a fan base and hating that percentage of a fan base. There's a difference. But goodness gracious, man. Their little, these OCs can just come off as Mary Sue's because they're always going to be like what? Having a lot of colors on them. And their main weapon, of course, is a knife. That's like the base. That's like being the basic bitch of serial killers. Just you're using a knife. Something that is so generic to kill somebody with is just a knife or something like that. And they'll usually be based on the person that makes them, and they're always done in these anime-like forms and stuff that looks like anime from maybe the 2000s. I don't know, and it just doesn't really like what it just doesn't look good to me. Like, why are you making a character based off of yourself just so you can make this stupid love thing with a fictional killer? That makes no sense. Because it used to be just this little creepy story that was probably shared around on the internet with a creepy photo that went along with it. That's all it was. But now it just turned into this thing where it has this fandom of like what a lot of girls and boys, I think, that are always trying to make them look cute, try to make them look innocent, try to victimize like what stuff that was like what made off the top of a person's head. And hell, even the remake of Jeff the Killer didn't make it any better because they thought that a flare gun would make it better. A killer killing somebody with a flare gun. That sounds so stupid. But back to what I'm talking about. These little like what? These bad fangirls and these terrible OCs, they're just equally awful. I'm sorry. I mean, if you're one of those fangirls that do like what the stuff that I'm mentioning in this video, this isn't like what I'm not trying to offend you, but I'm just telling it like it is. I mean, you can say anything about my videos because I just don't care. But honestly, I just really don't like this these kinds of fangirls that Jeff the Killer, the story, has. And just constantly shipping them and constantly shipping the guy with loads and loads of pasta monsters and stuff is just stupid. And especially trying to call this character a victim and saying and trying to like what justify the stuff that he did just because his face was burnt off. Wow, just oh my gosh, trying to justify a killer that isn't even real. Saying that sentence alone sounds dumb. And it's dumb that these bad fangirls really do this stuff on the regular. While the good ones probably just read the story and that's just it. And then some of the fangirls will try to make these like what? These funny videos based off of him along with other pasta monsters. Although I'll admit, there are very few that I find, hilarious or actually watchable. While there is a large percentage that I don't even find, hilarious because the majority of this stuff is this, this random humor they'll basically just take you back to 2009, 2010, that kind of random stuff when random was, you know, funny. in a way. And need I remind you, random stuff won't always be funny. You gotta set up a joke. But back to what I'm talking about. I just don't like this percentage of fangirls because they mainly make the creepypasta fandom look bad. Especially to people that like what? I don't know, that barely even knows anything about creepypastas and they'll like what? Hate the fan base just because of these kinds of fangirls or Slenderman fangirl or any fangirls of those pasta monsters and stuff because of the stuff that they do, especially the hentai stuff or the yaoi stuff, whatever you want to call it. That has to stop because it's just stupid. It's just a character, and I get that it's Rule 34, it's the internet, anything can be porn, yada yada yada. But this whole Jeff the Killer thing, it just has to stop. And I can't believe that the fan base still like what still is going strong. That's the only good thing that I can say about it is that it's a strong fan base and a dedicated one. That's the only nicest thing that I can really say. But these bad Jeff the Killer fangirls just make stuff worse. And before I get done with this video, I like to say that this wasn't meant to, offend anybody that does the stuff that I've said in this video or upset anybody by the stuff that I said in this video at all. So just be mature about this and don't even click the video or just don't even watch it at this point if you've made it this far. Just go to something else. So to wrap this up in a nutshell, I don't like the bad Jeff the Killer fangirls. The bad ones are just ugh. And the bad kind of like what OCs, the Mary Sues, those need those kind of characters need to stop. They need to stop. And yes, I am aware that there probably are good ones out there. I just haven't seen them yet, and I have yet to see them. It's just based on my point of view. So if you don't like it, then you don't like it. That's it. So this is the Rant Kid here, and a new video will be uploaded whenever I feel like it. And peace out.